Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac.
And this is your boy Bryce.
And we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we are couple steps away from the end of the season. We got a couple more tournaments. We've got the WTA and ATP finals that'll be coming up in the next couple weeks here. And then there will be that break, if you will, from tennis. And it doesn't last long because I tell you what, that Australian Open is right around the corner. But before we even think about that, Bryce, we had some pretty interesting tennis happen this past week. We had a Masters Series and we had the Billie Jean King Cup. How'd you like the tennis, brother?
I liked it until the finals of the Masters tournament, but it was a good match, I guess. Anyway, and Billie Jean King Cup, you know, I kind of was. I think I mentioned in the last episode that for some reason I hadn't really gotten my juices going for the Billie Jean King Cup. And as the week went on, I got more and more into it. And I started following it a little more. And, you know, just not surprised at all that Russia won.
I tell you what, team competitions, Russia is like, listen.
We got this. You call us the ROC, the RTF, the whatever.
The ABC, it don't matter.
Yeah. PVJ, it just don't matter. It does not matter. We gonna come through here and we gonna win. And we gonna win. We can win with our A squad. We can win with our B squad.
And Bryce, you have to admit that probably was the D squad because Samsonova. I mean, really? Come on, bro. That is the D squad, bro.
No. Here's where it got good. It got good when they benched Pavlyuchenkova. They were like, we got more confidence in Samsonite than we do in you right now. And after Samsonite lost our first set, it was like, oh, you may have made a mistake. She was like, I'm just getting ready.
She's like, she was like, I was just getting warmed up. Don't get it twisted. Right. I mean, Bryce, that had me tickled. I was like, wow, they are really putting it on Samsonova, and she stepped up. She was like, I ain't like scared of y'all.
Right, she did. She stepped up.
Man, went 5-0 in singles.
Yeah, look,
well, she didn't lose one. I tell you that much.
Yeah, she won all her singles and doubles matches.
Man, So, like I said, they reached down to the D squad, and the D squad represented.
They did. So, shout out to Russia. Look, shout out to the USA for making it to the semifinals with their B or C squad.
Yeah, you have to say that was kind of the B or C. And Coach Rinaldi was trying her best to kind of shake it up. Initially Shelby got out there and what, just wasn't quite right. And so she put in Sloane, and Sloane came out there trying to represent, and, she did her thing for a quick second. But they know they was wrong for trying to put leave it up to them doubles, though. But quietly, now that's my girl Danielle. Danielle was like, now listen, I'm like Samsonova. Am I scared of y'all?
I was about to say that was on Sloane that it had to go down to the doubles. I mean, Sloane should have won that match because Collins had proven that she was going to take care of business no matter who she played.
Exactly.
And Sloane did not handle her business, and therefore it got put on the doubles, and therefore they lost. Because you don't put your hopes on Coco Vandeweghe. I said it.
You don't. I'll say it too, because I 100% agree with you. That's just you just setting yourself up to fail.
Coco Vandeweghe and Shelby Rogers in doubles. Really? Man.
Yeah. They should have put Bethany on that squad or something. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, So anyway, here's the thing here's my wish. Here's my hope. Yeah. Because remember, the Billie Jean King Cup is the rebranded Fed Cup, which was the rebranded Reitman Cup. I don't know if this is the time of the year it's going to be every year or if it's going to be some other part of the year or whatever, but they need to get this tournament where they can get more of the top players playing. because, I know
Right.
we all love Billie Jean King and all that, but it was disrespectful to players that were there. I'm just saying.
It was, if you
I'm just
really think
saying.
about it. If you really truly think about it, because they had one person in the top 10 that was there. No, two. They had Krejcikova and is Bencic in the top 10?
Bencic ain't in nobody's
Oh
top
yeah,
10.
yeah. So they only had one top 10er.
And Krejcikova acted like she didn't want to be there.
She really did, didn't she?
Yeah. I mean, she was like, "I'm gonna go out here and I'll make sure these people didn't waste their money on tickets." But
right,
I'm not out here trying to. No.
Yeah, she definitely didn't seem like she was playing her top tier tennis. That is for sure.
Yeah. So she was like, "I'm tired. I've been beating fools all year, and I'm tired. And this Billie Jean King Cup ain't doing nothing for my singles ranking. So
it's really not.
let me." I'm ready to get on through this. I need to get my energy right for the year-end championships.
Right. And bro, we got a really weird calendar. I know we're going through our review right now, but it's so weird how they have everything structured, because they've got the WTA finals that are like starting this Wednesday, but then you got the next gen finals that I don't know if they've actually started or not. And then even the ATP finals, I don't believe is starting like on your traditional Sunday, Monday. So this is all kind of weird. And they're all overlapping. And then you got WTT on top of all of this. And it's just a whole lot of tennis and not very coordinated, I have to say.
Well, I do like the fact that World Team Tennis is happening during the year-end championships, because it gives other players still an opportunity to play, because basically people who play World Team Tennis don't make the championships usually anyway. So, they still have their same kind of field of players that they typically get. And then you have the winners that are over at, the year-ending championships. So it's nice that, everybody gets to play, at this time of the year.
Do we know if they're going to move that there permanently? Because remember, World Team Tennis was typically in the summer.
Yeah, things have been moving because of the whole rescheduling of the calendar and everything. So it'll be interesting to see where it falls on the calendar next year. If it goes back to being like in between Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, or,
Right, because they may have just moved it because of the Olympics.
That's probably why. Yeah, because the Olympics trampled over it. Yep. That's exactly it.
That's right. There you go. Okay. Well, yeah.
But once again, shout out to Russia. Congratulations. Shout out to Switzerland for making it to the finals. I know Belinda Bencic thought she was about to run things in the country events this year, but they were like, no.
Sis. Nah, sis. Not today, sis.
No. Yeah. So they slowed her roll real quick.
Right.
But shout out to them for making it to the finals. So like I said, hopefully next year it's in a better part of the year where they can get more top tier players to actually play, and it'll be, more exciting. Because I know Billie Jean King was sitting there at the sideline like, I know y'all could have found some better chicks than this.
Right?
I know y'all could have. Tournament named after me, y'all got these broke people? Are you kidding me? All right.
All right. Yeah, it's Billie Jean's like, okay, you gonna do me like that? All right. I remember that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's what was popping off for the women. So let's go over to the men from last week, where they were in Paris. I know they went on clay, because Rafa would have been out there on crutches trying to make that happen.
Ooh, yes,
but
he would.
They were indoors at the Paris Masters, which is also known as the Everybody Can Get It Masters. Because they have had some of the most surprising winners of this event. But this year it actually came down to number 1 and 2. But before we get to that, Isaac, let's talk about, there was a lot of good tennis that happened before that.
Yes. There was a lot of good tennis as well. And I want to also just kind of talk a little bit about the doubles draw as well, because that was actually pretty good tennis as well. And, that there was a little, there was some spiciness that kind of happened in that Herbert Mahou, Piers Polasek match, because the crowd got all Davis Cup on him in the middle of that second set and in the third set, and it was borderline though. I mean, and I don't know how you feel, Bryce. I'd like to get your thoughts on this, but the Parisians can be rough. I mean, they can be rough, and I felt a little bit like they had just crossed that line a bit. With what they were kind of doing. I mean, just whistling and between, second serves and this, that, and the other. And I know that you're like, hey, you're going there. This is what you should expect, but you should also expect for there to be some level of sportsmanship from your crowd, right? Or am I just being a little too sensitive, like apparently Piers and Posek were?
Do you know what? Believe it or not, I am very torn on this. Part of me, half of me, believe it or not, is that kind of traditional tennis fan, right? And everything should be prim and proper and, quiet on set and, shout out NWA. All that kind of stuff when you're playing. But then there's the other side of me that likes to see things spiced up a little bit. And you know what? This is what's supposed to happen when you're at a tournament at a certain country and you are playing people from that country.
Right.
They go. I mean, it wasn't like they were just being, they weren't like NBA fans who was throwing ice on the court, or hockey fans throwing fish on the ice. Or
right.
We still at tennis standards. They were whistling and we were upset.
Right, exactly.
So I'm really split. I totally get what you mean about like tennis has always had a certain level of decorum, right? And so you still like to see that, but then there's the other side that's just kind of like, you know what? They were, they was going wild for their home squad, and as long as they weren't throwing stuff on the court. And coming down there shanking people, and, I mean, look, we play tennis all the time with cars honking behind us on the road, driving by and all that kind of stuff. You mean a professional can't serve without it being dead quiet? I mean,
that is all very, very fair points, bro. And I agree with you. I like the rowdiness as well. Don't get me wrong. I actually do enjoy that. It's just certain little things I was just like, all right, come on, y'all. Come on.
Right. And you're going to always have some individuals that do too much because that's what people do a lot of times. They do too much.
Too much.
To quote Yannick Sinner on Francis Tiafoe, but we won't bring that back up.
But we will bring it back up because quietly, Stockholm, we ain't there yet, y'all. But Stockholm, you better know that's the semi I want. I need to see that semi, Bryce. I need to see that.
Right. But we're going to get to Stockholm in a minute.
We'll get there.
So, but y'all, can you tell you we are ADD tonight for sure?
Ooh, yes, we are, y'all. But I do want to give a shout out to Putz and Michael Venus for winning the doubles against Herbert and Mahou because they were again faced with a lot of that same crowd, and everything. And it was a tough one. They had to pull it out 11-9 in the deciding third set decider. It was good. It was really good. I was pretty happy for them. I like Herbert and Mahou as well. So, I wouldn't have minded had they won, but at the same time, I felt like with what they had to endure to win, I was pretty happy for them.
Right.
Yeah. All right, bro. Sorry about that. Singles.
No, it was good. I'm glad. We got love for the doubles, right?
Oh yeah. All day.
So let's talk about some of these men here in this Rolex Paris Masters. Let's go ahead and start with Bruthas. Gael Monfils pulled out, two nice 3-setters. I mean, lost the first set against both Kecmanovic and Mannarino, but still came back to win both of those matches. And then it was the walkover with, Djokovic. And I'm sorry, remind me, what was his ailment?
A groin. He pulled a groin muscle.
That's unfortunate. Not saying
I
that he was
mean,
going to beat Djokovic, but definitely wanted to see that match.
yeah, I did as well, but at the same time, Bryce, I was very happy that he pulled out because if he's going to try and get off this 17-0,
Right,
he got to be
right.
100%. There's no if and he can't be 99%. He can't be 99.2%. No, you need to be 100%. So when I heard, when he got that injury in that previous match against Manarino, I was like, ooh. And then when it came out that, he was feeling it, I was like, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Because then it would have automatically just been 18-0. And we just don't need that. we don't need that head to
Right.
head. So,
No, we don't.
yeah. But I feel like Gael's getting himself back on track, though. I really do
Mm-hmm.
feel like he's fighting his way back to that 2020 form that he had. So I am very
Right.
excited to see what he's going to bring to the table in 2022. I really am.
Me too. I really am.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for you. What's going
Yeah,
on
man.
with Rublev? I mean, is he spending too much time in the studio? I mean, what are we not turned up enough in his headphones? I mean, what's going on with Rublev? He can't beat nobody right now.
I know. I wonder if it's just that whole, what, I made the year-ending championships. I maybe it's a little bit of not a letdown, but maybe I just need to kind of save myself a little bit because he knows he's playing in the big one, if you will, the big year-ending one. But I do agree with you though;
Mm-hmm.
these losses do seem to be a little abnormal for him.
Right.
And like I said, because the Americans have been stealing on him because Tommy Paul stole on him at the Indian Wells, and now Taylor Fritz stole on him. So apparently Americans are talking about Rublev, and they just like, you can get him. So, so I don't know, bro. It'll be interesting to see how he does at the year-ending championships. It's going to be tough because he can't be, his confidence can't be very high right now. And then you talk about who he's going to have to potentially battle with. He might go over.
Right. And I see, Miles, I just saw your comment and you just took the words right out of my mouth. I have always wondered when things were going to level out for Rublev because his game is very one-dimensional. And, that play may beat up on some people for a while, but your better players, that's only going to work
Right.
for a little bit of time. And I'm not saying he about to drop out the top 50 or anything like that, but he just isn't one of the ones that I feel like, how you talked about, and this may be wrong for me to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Remember how you said, with Svitolina and she made top 5 and we were all putting her in that category, but she may have been a little bit of an overachiever? I kind of feel that way about Rublev. I feel like Rublev, when I look at some other players around him, I don't see him as top 5, maybe bottom of top 10, but I don't consider him top 5.
Yep. I agree with you. I don't see Rublev as being a Grand Slam champion, if I'm being very honest with you. I look at Tsitsipas, I look at Medvedev, I look at Zverev, I look at Team. I look at them, I see their games, and I'm like, yes, they can win Grand Slams. I even would look at a Tiafoe, the way he's been playing, and say, I can see him just having an outstanding 2 weeks and getting it done. I just don't see that with Rublev. He hits the ball well, he moves well, he competes hard. But I don't know. I think that's such a great point that you brought up. Is he overachieving right now? And will that level out? And will he, like you said, end up falling, into that 8, 9, 10 spot, if not even 11, 12, 13, once Felix and Shapovalov and those folks kind of start getting their game right, and Sinners and, because there's a whole bunch of folks that are going to be knocking on the top 10 door.
Yes.
And somebody's going to have to move. I'm sorry. Somebody gonna have to move.
Right. Exactly.
It's like Sabalenka said. She was like, listen, one y'all wenches is gonna get out my way. One of you gonna get out the way.
Right.
And it's gonna happen. So I honestly feel like Rublev he's at risk. He is one of those that is at risk of losing that spot. Definitely.
Right. Now, one of the people that about to come get his spot is Hubie Hurkacz. He coming for it, right?
He coming for it, dog. I consider Hubie to be very much like Sabalenka from last year. Hubie, like, you know what? Y'all need to get out the way because this is one of my spots. And I'm not trying, and I'm not going to be temporary. I feel like Hubie's going to be fighting to be around the top 5 for at least a good 5 or 6 years. I really believe his game is solid enough that he's always going to be very dangerous to those Medvedevs, Zverevs, Djokovic's. His game just is it's underwhelming, but at the same time, it is very dependable.
Well, I could have choked the life out of him when he didn't win that Djokovic match.
Yeah.
He had that match.
He had it. Yep.
He had it. But, that's what Djokovic does, right? He puts that chill in your body and you don't know what happened. Next thing you know, you're shaking hands at the net.
That's right.
It's
walking away.
Right. So, but shout out to Hubie, though, for as the 7th seed making it to, the semifinals. Now, granted, we lost Tsitsipas with the elbow injury, I believe.
Right.
So,
yep, that's right.
He didn't, after he beat the bye, he got up there against Popfriend and knew that wasn't going to work out. So,
right.
He got out there. I'm telling you, somebody else who may have already shot their shot.
Come on.
I mean, they young, so they got time. But remember all that hype behind Musetti?
Yeah.
And when last time Musetti won 2 matches in a row?
And I agree with you in a certain. I think Musetti he's got a lot of skills because he's got that one-handed backhand. He's very kind of flamboyant, so he's kind of likes all those shots. But I don't know about you, and I said this even about Alcaraz, and I know you and I kind of disagreed a little bit, but Musetti just feels a little lightweight to me. He seems like he needs a little bit more heft.
He's very Sebastian Grosjean-ish.
Yeah, exactly. So just he's and I don't know if that means more time in the gym or what he needs to do in the off season or whatever, but I just feel like he needs to be a little bit bigger. There needs to be more presence from him and more weight, more.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I totally agree with you on that with him. But right now he kind of lightweight, like you said.
Right. We'll see what he has to offer in that next gen.
Now he should do well there.
You would think. I mean, I'm thinking him and Alcaraz should be the ones to do some things there. I mean, but then again, you got Nakashima there, so that there's some good talent there for sure. But
Alcaraz is going to take that title.
I believe so as well.
Because let me tell you what, and I think it was funny. I think I was mentioning this to Miles. I knew. I knew he was coming up, right? I knew he had been released from the dungeon, and I knew he was coming, right? And shout out to you, Linnell. I knew he was coming, right? And so I was wrong on a couple of different things. I was completely wrong that I was like, okay, he's just going to be like this clay quarter, right? So wrong on that.
Yeah.
And then,
and then
also the level that he's playing at now, I expected to see that maybe a year and a half from now, maybe 2 years. But we're seeing it today. I'm going to tell you what, in terms of game, their actual game, I like his game way more than Sinner's. To me, Sinner is, believe it or not, how do I put it? He's kind of like a Rublev 2.0.
Yeah. I was about to say he's a better version of Rublev. He's got power and just power on power.
Right.
But once you figure out how to deal with that, which the top players like your Zverevs and Djokovic's have, he becomes a little bit ineffective.
Right. Alcaraz has power. He has spin. He's athletic. He has angles. He got the vamos going on. I mean,
that's important.
Yes, Alcaraz got it going. So I got to go look at my squads because somebody, you know what? Larovich has been screaming to get off the JV squad for a while, and this just may be his time to exit.
It might be the time.
This might be his time to exit.
Because we are going to have to do an announcement of our 2022 varsity and JV squads. So we're going to have to really think through that. I'm with you, though. I think that would be a good pickup.
Now, I do want to mention this real quick, because there's a lot of good stories here in Paris. You was clowning me on my Gaston. Last episode.
I was. Yes, I was. And you proved me wrong. Well, I had seen Gaston play, and I like the kid. Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like he's, a little young, a little lightweight. But I tell you what, he got in front of the Parisians and was like, listen, I'm at home. And if I'm scared of you, I got this crowd on my side.
Shoot, I hear Stephanie Mel singing in the background. What's going on? I mean, he got up and that render net dude, he was like, okay, I'm gonna get up in you. Yeah. He got up in PCB like, I am not Djokovic and this is not the Olympics. All right. He got up on Alcaraz and he was like, next gen my ass. He said, it is right here. And then, but there is absolutely no shame in taking the L to Medvedev.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And 7-6, 6-4. I mean,
it wasn't competitive. It wasn't like he got blown out.
Right. So
and it was 7 in the first set tiebreaker, 9-7 or 7-5. No, 9-7.
9-7. Yeah, absolutely. So I will be very interested to see how he does in the next gen tournament.
Yes. It will be very interesting to see. Like I said, he was in Paris. He had all the Parisians behind him, so he was definitely riding that wave. I would definitely want to see how he's going to play at another tournament where, again, he doesn't actually have all of that crowd support, because I do feel like there were a couple matches that he got through because of those crowds. I mean, because honestly, that PCB match, that was a tough match. And that, PCB, he a little flighty. So he probably got upset and let himself get a little distracted, whatever the case may be. Can't take anything from Gaston because he used what he needed to use to get the win. But I just still need to see what he's going to bring at some other tournaments. But I do like the young man's game. I like him. He's feisty. I like it.
Well, I believe he's going to take that same fan base that was Fabrice Santoro, that was Diego Schwartzman. You always got the little short guy in there. I think he's the little short guy in this next gen. And I think he will have that kind of like, oh, we love you, little Hugo. I think he gonna have that fan base.
I agree. I agree, and he's likable. He seems to be pretty, So he. I agree with you 100%, bro.
And also, I don't know, when we were talking about Alcaraz, I mean, I don't know that we mentioned that he took out Sinner.
He did.
And that was a really good win, because once again, that was kind of still next gen against next gen.
Right.
And
I think honestly with that one, and again, this is because I heard them report this, the courts were playing like super slow. And I think that in itself aids Alcaraz, because I think if you put Sinner on an indoor fast hard, that probably will end up being a different story, because Sinner likes all that pace. But like I said, Alcaraz, man, he got that. He was like, listen, this matchup is going to happen a lot. So let's just make sure we get it started off right.
Right, exactly. I'm pulling out my inner Rafa.
That's right, man. Yes, sir.
Now, shout out to Bryce's JV squad, because my guy Dominique Kupfer, who lost in qualifying, in the final round of qualifying, I think, ended up get in there telling Andy Murray to get his old ass on.
That was a fight, though, bro. That was a battle.
It was a battle, and he got that out, 11-9 in the third set tiebreaker? Wait, look, the reason why I love that match is it showed that that's what Kupfer does. He's a grinder. He's a battler. Right. He ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
Yep. And that was an excellent win for him. And then he got a hold of FAA.
Poor FA. Man, I saw that match. I was just like, you know what? I'm like, FA, I'll be trying so hard to root for you, bro. But you just know you be taking these L's. Oh,
L's.
L's, y'all. L's. And I like
L's.
the dude. He is just like a physical like beast, but he just does not get it done when it's expected. And I really hope that
No.
somehow turns itself around. But I'm trying not to be on that bandwagon of getting worried. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little worried about him going into 2022.
Well, you know what? I think he's got his career high ranking right now, so
Right?
he's going to feel good about what he's done this year, and he has plenty
Right.
of room. Can we say that again? Plenty of room to improve upon what he did this year.
Yes, that's correct. You're
So,
absolutely right.
you know what? This is kind of role reversal here. I'm kind of saying like, yeah, come on, FAA. I think he's all right. I'm excited about what he's going to do
Yeah.
in 2022. And like you said, we knew that the Tony Nadal influence was going to take a minute for it to kick in. And I think it's finally starting to get there. And even with some of these losses, it's at the end of the year. I think some of these people are tired.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and you're exactly right. Yeah, you're hoping that that's just just kind of like, okay, we're coming to the end of the year. Hopefully he's got a nice little training block ahead of him and he's able to get himself right. But I'm still kind of holding out some hope even for this tournament, if I'm being honest with you. But we'll talk about Stockholm in a minute, of course.
Right. You ready to get to Stockholm, ain't you?
Right?
Well,
but there's more stories.
Right. Because Bryce's newest member of his varsity squad, Mr. Cameron Norrie. Yeah, look, he did what he needed to do. He beat Opelka for me. So, shout out to Taylor Fritz for trying to have a late, resurgence in the second part of this year to get a few wins under his belt. And also becoming the highest ranked American, which is a low bar, but, he still got over it.
But he got it, and I believe, will claim it for 2021, right?
He will.
Yeah, that's right. So kudos, Taylor. I mean, listen, Taylor is just, I like him, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, he just exactly. He's a little,
he's just
right,
yeah.
But I do support him, and I do want him to do well. Don't get me wrong. I don't put him in the tennis sangren and all that category, but. I just still am wanting to see a little bit more, I guess, out of Fritz. And what's really funny though is I love the interviews that he was doing with Prakash, because he was like, "Oh, I'm feeling good about my game and everything is good." And he was saying all this stuff before he got to Djokovic, and he was kind of like saying, "Ain't nobody scared of him, and my game feels good right now." And
please.
And I was like, I wonder if Djokovic saw that, because Djokovic went out there and was like, listen, little one. What you've been doing is really, really nice, but at the same time, no, you're not at this level quite.
No. Look, Djokovic is not pressed with no Taylor Fritz. Are you kidding me?
No, he was not pressed at all and got through that in a very easy straight sets. But again, kudos to Taylor Fritz. He's having a really good end of season. He should be very motivated to get into this training block. And we'll see what he has to offer for 2022.
Well, and talking about Americans, another JV squad guy here, Marcus Jerome. I mean, First of all, he qualified. Then he told Tiafoe to slow his roll.
Tiafoe.
Apparently. And then he got up on, I guess, a tired Diego Schwartzman.
Right.
And then he went and got in the passenger seat of Casper Ruud's car and took a nice little ride to the bakery.
Right? Casper was like, "Hey, bro." He just drove up to the court and was like, "Hey, bro, come on, get in. Get in, dog. We got someplace to go."
Oh, man.
Yeah, because Casper was like, "You know what? I am not trying to play around with you whatsoever."
Not at all. So let's go ahead. Okay, so we basically have gone through the whole draw, but
Yeah.
let's go to the semifinals. So we had
Yes.
Djokovic against Herkic, and we had Zverev against
Yes.
Medvedev.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna start with the Medvedev one, and
Okay.
I think Medvedev here. I think he is really, really feeling that he is heir apparent to the big three. I think
Right.
after winning
I
the U.S.
agree.
Open, he really believes it now, and so a match against
Yes.
Zverev was really key because Zverev is probably one of the key challengers, right? And they were saying, didn't they say like
Mm-hmm.
he's won like
Mm-hmm.
the last
I think
four,
either three or
four,
four. I think it
four,
might be
yeah,
four.
matches
Yeah.
against Zverev, um,
Yep.
and the two whole biscuits. He pulled his car up to the
Yes, he
side.
did. He was like, you know what, Casper, let me borrow that
Borrow
car
your
for.
car.
Let me borrow your car because I got to drive somebody somewhere.
Yeah, so Zverev, yeah,
Whole biscuits, man.
two whole
Woo.
biscuits,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I think you said it best, Bryce. He basically was like, I am that one. You might have gotten Djokovic in the Olympics, but I am that one. I am the one.
right,
So don't get it
right,
twisted. No. And he
right.
showed him what was up. I mean, to the point where he was just Zverev was breaking rackets and just the boy was just mad. He was straight up frustrated, and it just had me giggling because I was like, "Ooh,
Yep, exactly.
yes, sir."
And we kind of talked about the other semifinal a little bit
Yes.
already. Herkic, definitely had opportunities, but Djokovic does what
Right.
Djokovic does.
Yeah. I mean, clutch. I mean, you have to give it to Djokovic because he was also very frustrated after that first set with Hubie and, came back and, gave him that bagel, which I think Hubie was like, I'm going to check out a little bit. I can't believe, that I got the first set off for him. So I'm just he took his foot off the gas a little bit and
Yep.
Djokovic just basically cleaned him up in that second set. But that third set, and it could have gone either way. But like you said,
Right.
Djokovic did what Djokovic does, which he is clutch and he finds a way to win.
He absolutely does. And that theme didn't change in the finals because Medvedev came out there in the finals like, what you looking at? The US Open wasn't no fluke.
Right?
No fluke. Matter of fact, we're going to stay with the same score. What was that? 6-4, 6-4, 6-4? Here's another one for you. 6-4. And
Uh-huh.
I'm actually very surprised he did not close that match out. But Djokovic
Yeah.
stepped his game up. And I'm going to tell you what, I was telling this to somebody. I may have been talking to my mom or whatever, but one of the things that I always give
Mm-hmm.
Medvedev is that beyond what he does physically on the court, he's smart. And he figures things
Oh,
out.
very much so.
But clearly what was beyond his comprehension was when you get served out wide, why don't we hit that return down the line versus cross court down the middle again so he can volley and drop shot it and you can watch it.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, we can try it one time and see how it works out.
One time.
Just one time.
Just one time. One time.
You're already out there, just down the line, right?
Just exactly.
Or at least make Djokovic think he's got to cover that shot, right?
Right.
And Djokovic was just, let me go right here to the same spot where he hits it every time.
Correct.
And let me volley it the same way I do every time. And so I was a little surprised at that, but I do believe that he'll go back with his coaching staff and everything, and they'll see that and they'll make adjustments because clearly that's what Djokovic did. He made an adjustment from the U.S. Open and was like, okay, I'm going to start coming into the net. I'm not going to get into these baseline battles because he's too young. He got them young legs, and I ain't trying to run like that.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
So I have to just, you just have to give props to where props is due. I mean, Djokovic made the proper adjustment, and he got that match.
That's right. And I think that that's going to be kind of the player that will always kind of stress Daniil a little bit is the serving volleyer or the person who has good hands at the net. So someone like a Hurkacz, I think, is always going to be rough for Medvedev to play. Dimitrov
Mm-hmm.
will always be rough for him to play. Again, as long as their
Mm-hmm.
volleys are tight, because you can't just be flubbing no volleys against Medvedev.
No, because he'll come get it. He'll come get it.
Yes.
Right.
So you got to be tight with your volley game. So I do feel like, again, someone like, again, those guys that I just mentioned will be rough for Medvedev. Well, I should say not rough, but there'll be a challenge for him. But the baseliners, again, like your Rublevs and your centers, I see him taking them out all day, every day. Because he's just like, friend, you know, you cannot get back past my defenses, and I got a lot of games for you.
Right. And you know what else I'm going to need for him to stop? And it's funny because he made a comment afterwards about, I think we have to stop practicing together. And the answer to that is yes. Stop practicing with Djokovic. Yes. All right.
Yep.
And stop acting like you got, you know, a card to the fan club.
Yeah, no, it's done. That's done.
Yes.
Yeah, you it's nice. You put him on your little mantle and everything. But
right.
It's time to shatter that mantle.
Right.
Y'all are peers now.
Right.
And if you're going to be a champion, you are going to have to beat him.
Yes. And so you know, and he does have a good record. I mean, what is it now? 6-4, Djokovic. But
correct. It could have been tied.
It could have been tied up. It really could have been tied up. But like I said, you know, Medvedev did not play a horrible match at all. Djokovic made the adjustments that needed to be made, and he got that victory. And shout out to him. And he said his whole purpose for going to play this tournament was to try to wrap up the number one ranking for the end of the year. Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm. And still yet another record from Pete. Hi, Pete.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that brought me solace to the fact that he got 7 year in jail. I was like, all right, take another one.
Don't leave Pete with not one single record. Not one single record. But
I mean, he will always put his laurels on the fact that he got 6 in a row. That's always his little claim to fame, is that my year-ending championships were all in a row.
Okay, that's cool. So anyway, that was the Rolex Paris Masters, and that was a great tournament. Now, before we continue on with what's going on this week, can we talk about Dominic Thiem for a minute?
Let's talk about it.
So what in the Aaron Rodgers is Dominic Thiem talking about? He came out there in the media like, I'm vaccinated, I'm going to be at the Australian Open, you know, get at me, all this kind of stuff. And then he comes out with this Aaron Rodgers stuff like, oh, you just playing around with it?
Right.
Is that what you're doing?
Is that what you're doing? Is that how we doing this?
I mean, just like, for all this extra stuff you did, you could just went ahead and got one of the regular shots and been done with it. And so now he's talking about, well, if this doesn't work, or if it isn't approved by the end of November, then I'll go ahead and take the regular shot. Well, you know what? You mixing all kind of stuff in your body now. You could have just took the regular shot from the start. Right?
Exactly.
From the start, been done with it.
Been done. You're a top tier athlete. You have access to everything. So that excuse, when I saw that, I was like, nah, son, this is not flying for me at all. No.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
So I guess he will be at the Australian Open because he did commit to take one of the regular shots by the end of November, which gives him plenty of time. But yeah, I was so disappointed to see that.
I was as well, bro. Very, very disappointed because I just thought Dominique was a little bit more informed and a little bit more aware of his platform than that.
I guess not. So on to the players. You know, we have 2 events, you know, this week. We have Next Gen. That's kicking off later in the week. And then you have Stockholm that kicked off today. So which one you want to hit first? I know you itching to get to Stockholm, so I guess
I know, right? I've been talking about Stockholm.
Let's go ahead and get there. So Stockholm, it is a 250, but it has a pretty good field. The top 8 seeds are Sinner, FAA, Shapovalov, Daniel Evans, Fritz, Bublik, Fuchsovich, and Francis Tiafoe.
Yes. So yeah, man, I just there's a couple things that I of course want to see. I need to see that matchup between Tiafoe and Sinner.
Yes, in the semis.
Yeah, I need to, because Salty Sinner, I need to see how Tiafoe is going to react to the comments that he made about doing too much and being too extra.
Right. Yes. We need to see it. We need to see it.
I need to see the spice, bruh. I need to see the spice, because I need Tiafoe to get out there and just wreck shop.
Yep.
Because he just simply, in my opinion, Sinner was just being a little too sensitive. And I don't feel like Tiafoe did anything wrong in that match. So for him to be spouting off like that, yeah, I need that matchup to happen.
Right. Now, does Sinner's going to get past these Americans. I'm not even worried about that. I'm sorry. I didn't look at the draw real good. It's Tommy Paul and Taylor Fritz. Ain't worried. So he'll be there. Now, Francis, we had some black on black crime today. He had to take out one of the Ema brothers, but we knew that was going to happen. But we got Daniel Evans in Tiafoe's section, but he's got to go up against my JV squad guy, Davidovich Fokina.
That's right.
So of course I'm hoping for the upset there, and also I'm not a big Dan Evans fan, so
I agree. Neither am I.
Better. Tiafoe should whip up on either Martinez or Rusevore. It doesn't. I mean, he should get both of them. Either one of them.
He should. Either one of those. He should get.
And then, so yeah, it's very possible that they can meet in the semifinals, and if they do, we gotta watch that one live.
We're
gonna watch that one live.
We need to watch that one. Oh yeah.
Now in the bottom half of the draw, you have a guy who you were losing faith on at the bottom, Mr. FAA. And he has to go through Krajinovic, who he should get, but Krajinovic can have a tricky game, and I think Miles already called it that he might not get past that one.
Correct.
And then either that Van der Zandschulp or Fuchsovich.
Yeah.
Either one of them will be tough business.
Exactly. As much as I want my Canadian matchup in the semifinals, I just have this weird feeling in my gut that Van der Zandschulp,
yeah,
I have a feeling
coming through.
I have a feeling he is going to come through, and he going to make a final. I don't know if it's his first final or not, but I think he's going to make that final.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, because I don't know where Shapovalov's head is at right now. He might make it to the semis, but Bublik has been playing pretty well lately.
That's true. Yeah. So who knows? The Canadians might not even get there. I don't know. But I'm thinking Van der Zandschulp is gonna make his way to the final.
So who is he gonna meet in the final?
I think it's gonna be Tiafoe. I'm putting my coins, my Bitcoin, my whatever you want to call. I'm putting it on Tiafoe, because I feel like he is gonna get past Salty Sinner. And if he gets in the final, I think he is going to very much be like, you know what? I need to cap off this season with this W. So that, I just feel like he is going to be of that mindset that, I'm my game feels good right now. So I'm putting it on Tiafoe, bro.
All right. I'm not mad at it. I'll want to see that. That would be good to see. So later in the week, we have the next gen finals, which, as a reminder, they all are like 21 and younger. Okay,
correct.
So your best 21 and younger folks are there. Minus Sinner was the number one ranked 21 and under, but he has decided to take the alternate spot at the regular year-ending championships because, they know Tsitsipas' elbow is a little tricky. He might pull out, so Sinner may actually get in the regular ATP year-end championships. Number 2 on that list was FAA.
Mm-hmm.
And FAA chose not to play. I guess because he's thinking if Tsitsipas pulls out, and Yannick gets in, then he's the alternate.
Yeah, he's alternate,
So
exactly. Or would Nori be? Where's Nori in the
I'm not
list?
sure, but I saw that they had. Oh, that's true. I'm thinking of the next gen list where they're 1 and 2. Yeah, Nori. Where is
Yeah,
he? My computer went to sleep.
because if Sinner takes the
It may
spot, I
be
would think
Nori.
Nori would be. Yeah, Nori would be. But they need to have two backups anyway, so they would still probably invite
Take
Felix.
both of them.
Exactly. Yep. Which and mind you, folks, I mean, I know the next gen is tight and everything, but no, if you get invited to the big show, even as an alternate, you go to the big show.
Right. Exactly. Um, yeah. And then, So actually, Cam. It looks like he's next. Yeah, and then it would be Felix, and then it would be Karatsev. Once again, shout out to y'all not even knowing who Karatsev was this time last year, and he misses the year-ending championship by like 2 spots.
Crazy.
All right,
Crazy.
I
bro.
just want to put that out there.
Shout
out. So anyway, you have the next gen, and they're divided into 2 groups, and you have Group A and Group B. So in Group A, you have Alcaraz, Runa, Cerundolo, and Nakashima. So they're in Group A.
Yes.
Group B, you have Korda, Gaston, Musetti, and Baez. I don't even know who Baez is,
Right.
but I guess he won enough to be able to make it there. So what happens is they're going to do round robin play, and then in the semifinals, the winner of Group A will play the runner-up of Group B, and then vice versa on the other half of the draw. So when you look at these names in these 2 groups, who do you think are going to be the 4 players that make it to the semis?
Oh, man. So I think the one group is relatively clear. I think Alcaraz and Nakashima will make it out of Group A. Okay. I don't think Cerundolo or Rune. I don't know really enough about their games. And I just have seen a lot recently of both Alcaraz and Nakashima to believe that they will come out of that group. Group B is a little bit more tricky. I'm taking out Baez just simply because, again, I don't know him. I don't know. Yeah,
we don't even know who he is.
He might go over.
Holla.
But Hugo, he going to be riding a little bit of confidence. So I'm trying to figure out who he potentially is going to get up on and snatch their spot. I'm thinking, honestly, that Korda is playing some really good ball. And mind you, we didn't talk about him in that Paris, but he did make it pretty far. I think he won like either 2 or 3 rounds. I think he went out to Medvedev and he took a set off of Medvedev.
Yeah, he beat Karatsev again and Cilic. And took a set off of Medvedev. Medvedev wasn't paying attention.
Well, but he's got to be feeling himself because that's the number 2 player in the world, and he got him a set off of him. So I'm thinking his confidence is going to be high. So I'm going to put Korda to get through. Where I'm shaky, honestly, is with Musetti. I don't know how his mental or his confidence is, and I'm just trying to gauge which of those 2, Musetti or Gaston, would be able to pull it out. I think, honestly, I'm going to put my coins on Musetti only because he's had a better year. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if Gaston stole that extra spot. What about you, bro?
I'm going with Gaston because, like we were saying earlier, a lot of Musetti's really good results came earlier in the year. He's been kind of slumping lately. Yeah, and Gaston has been playing obviously very well lately. So, and what it may come down to is they both beat Baez, they both lose to Korda. Who wins between their matchup?
Exactly.
I think that's what's probably going to happen.
Yeah, you win and get in. You win and get in. Yep.
So anyway, that's going on. So that's going on for the men. For the women, on Wednesday, the year-ending championship starts for them. But we don't know how they're matched up because I guess I don't think it's been drawn or whether. Look, first of all,
Right.
WTA's
WTA.
website is trash. So
Trash.
I had to go
It's
other
trash.
places to even find that information out. But we can at least verify for you who's going to be there. And that is
Right.
Sabalenka, Krejcikova, the good Pliskova, Sakari, Swiatek, Muguruza, Badosa, and Kontaveit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and all I'm going to say is watch those last two names that this brother just said.
Badosa and Kontaveit.
I'm trying to tell y'all folks, that might be your WTA finals right there. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm, this should be a pretty good, for it not having Serena and Ash Barty and Osaka in it. This should be a pretty competitive year-end final.
I absolutely agree with that, bro. I think it's going to be pretty good. I really do.
You take any of these two players and match them up. Any two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
isn't it in Mexico? So Badosa should have a little bit of crowd support, I would imagine.
And then I think they were saying Muguruza's undefeated in Mexico.
Right. So you have to lean towards the Spaniards to have a good showing. But I'm still putting it on. I'm still gonna put my coins on Badosa and Kontaveit, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Be good.
So, man, okay. So, and while all of that is going on, your boys, Thursday we're gonna be heading out to Indian Wells, and obviously you'll get a chance to see all of this on Instagram and social media. We're going to be doing a couple of events with City Taste of Tennis out there at Indian Wells, so we're very excited about that. You'll just have to stay tuned to see what comes out of that. And then on Saturday actually starts World Team Tennis. And so we're going to be there for the first week of that Saturday through Saturday. So we will definitely be... Well, we'll be back here talking to you sometime next week, giving you updates from that. But don't miss out on the World Team Tennis. We got Tiafoe there. We got Sloane Stevens there. We got my boy Jack Sock there. You got, I think the Bryan brothers are going to be there. You got Kim Kleisters in the house. I can't remember all the other players. Those are the ones, that, I got my good eye on. Right,
Top of mind, exactly.
Got the good eye. But it's going to be good. Kamal Murray got the black team, of course. He got the Chicago team. He got Nick Monroe. He got Tiafoe. He got Sloane Stevens. I said, boy, y'all going to let this whole cookout thing get y'all in trouble. Everybody trying to have their version of the cookout right now. Y'all better watch out. Y'all going to get yourselves in trouble.
Gonna get cut, exactly.
Right. Everybody gonna be like, we gonna drive Chicago when we play them.
They're gonna try. Try.
But so that's where we're gonna be next week. So your boys will be on location, and you know how we do on location. We'll definitely be shooting it up there for you.
That's right.
So
that is right.
Any final words, Isaac, before we head over to IG?
No, man. Just, merch. I always want to throw out the plug for the merch, folks. So please go out to our website and, the holiday season's coming around. So feel free to pick out some awesome merch for a friend or family member. Coffee cups are good. Everybody drink coffee or at least tea.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Exactly. Yeah, no.
How about you, brother?
Man, nothing. I'm just excited to go back to Indian Wells. We had such a good time when we were there. Where was that? A couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, right?
When we were back there for the actual Indian Wells tournament. So excited to get back to the desert. Looking forward to World Team Tennis. Your boys, we got our press credentials. So, you might hear us up there in the press room asking a few questions,
Come on.
Right, they're not ready. So
they're not ready.
Probably last time they give us credentials. They'll be like, keep note of them, We cannot have that craziness up here in the press room.
The answer's no.
But we're really looking forward to that, honestly. So
That's right.
Well, okay then. Well, hey, everybody watch the good tennis, watch Stockholm, watch the Next Gen, watch World Team Tennis, watch the Women's Year-Ending Championships. And we're going to be back here next week to talk about it with you guys. So on behalf of the podcast, this is your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone be good.